Well, the next week against Troy, you had a punt return touchdown that was called back. And this time you guys were already up big when it happened, but I'm sure that this one had to be a little frustrating too, wasn't it?
It was very frustrating because that's actually the return that would have made me the holder of the record with the return, the touchdowns. I think I'm tired of something with that was great. So that would have been the one that got me over the hump. But it was tough. It was tough because by that time, like I said, you're a senior now, so you're cognizant of everything that's going on, and you know how many leads on record and stuff like that. And there was always a strength coach, Coach Osopper, that gave me a hard time about the entire grade. So I was taking it amongst myself, taking it personally, to try to get over that hump. But it was unfortunate, it got called back.
Well, then against Tennessee, you took the opening kickoff 50-some yards, and you got a bit of face mask at the end there. You think maybe Phil Fulmer should have left a note to Lane Kiffin saying, hey, don't kick the ball to Brandon James?
Well, I'm hoping he didn't, and it turned out that he did. But, it's something that's just hard to, when you get in the game, you can game plan as much as you want. But, players are going to play once they get between the lines. So, a lot of the times you can't control once you kick the ball where it's going. And, a lot of times you just have to go right in my area, and that year did. And, for some reason, kick it out of the way and grab my face mask. But, we always get good position. So, it worked out pretty bad.
What do you make of your career-long domination against Tennessee? I mean, you seem to really have it out for them.
It was just something that kind of just happened. Freshman year early having success. And like I said previously, with my high school teammate, Quinn Hancock, being a part of their team, we were always, different back and forth throughout the year. And leading up to that game, and, all week, he may send a text, I shoot one back, we're going back and forth. So it was kind of a little bit of that. But also, just early in my recruiting process, Tennessee wasn't recruited me at all. And they were hired my brother, half brother got there, and for some reason towards the end, when they were supposed to offer me and I was going to commit, they started to recruit me. And that was something that came into play, when you think about the Tennessee rivalry also. But those were always the chips I had on my shoulder that I just kept with me all throughout college.
Well, back to the Gators season against LSU, Tebow was able to play. How did he look to you in warm-ups?
He was fine. He was fine. He normal Tim Tebow, so, I don't think anything was wrong with him.
Well, when the game started, the play calls looked like there was something wrong with him. The coaches were being a little conservative. They weren't running him nearly as much. But he did have some pretty nice plays, including the game's only touchdown pass to Riley Cooper. What was it like to go into Death Valley and come away with a win this time?
Big, because, that was something that we had to get done just because of previously going to the beat. So, going to that game, we needed to get that victory. And in Death Valley, it was a place, very hostile crowd, kind of in comparison to the Swamp, for being an away game. So, so it was something we had to take care of. And we came out with a victory no matter how it was. Whenever you put an SEC game that caliber, you're just trying to come out with the W however you get it.
All right, and your next two games, you played two more SEC West teams, Arkansas and Mississippi State. Not very stylish wins, but you got the wins. So at 7-0, Florida was winning games, undefeated, number one in the country, but they weren't really winning comfortably. A lot of it was due to offense. What do you make of the decrease in offensive production from 2009, from 2008?
I think it had a lot to contribute with switching, Coach Mullen leaving the head coach at Mississippi State. Whenever, your offense coordinator leaves and, you have a new step up, there's going to be an adjustment because it's just two different people and they have two different ways of doing things. So I think there's a lot of that. Just like the offense and have to get adjusted to our new offensive coordinator. But other than that, there wasn't much of a difference. Players are the same and everything's the same. It's just, I think that had a lot to do with it, just offensive coordinator switching and getting used to the coordinator too.
What was it like to watch Caleb Sturgis' field goal beat Arkansas?
And that's just an Augustine native, so, there was no nerves. I knew he was going to get the job done. Caleb was a big time big time kicker. That's why he got drafted just recently. So, you're not nervous at all. You know he's going to, knock it through. You're just ready to see it go through. So, all the nerves can go away.
And what was it like for you to be on the sidelines as Dustin Doe made the pick six to put away Mississippi State?
Big play. It's a big play. And, he's a guy that all year, which is out there just, coming to his own and making big plays. See this fellow on his brother make a play to shield the game and running down the sideline. Things always joke around, because in high school he, played at multiple positions. I think he played for running back. So he definitely took that amongst himself to try to put the ball in one hand and, show that he still had his running back ability with it.
What was it like for you to beat Coach Mullen, your old offensive coordinator?
There weren't really a lot of nerves. I was the guy that, I talked to Mullen that, Warren, he was the best. I'm not going to say he was the best of friends, but he was the coach I wasn't really close to just because he wasn't my position coach. But, to see him, you give him a hug and, just tell him, good job, and, he just told us to keep competing and just try to get another title. And, that's pretty much how that went.
All right, so then the week after that, you guys played Georgia. You didn't waste any time against them. You put them away easily. 41-17, you guys won. Finally, a convincing win over an SEC opponent. Would you say that the locker room afterwards was relieved, or were they happy, or were they just looking ahead to the next opponent?
Just looking at the next opponent. That whole year, like I said before, it was something that we were expecting to do. We had the mindset that a lot of us had came back our senior years to go undefeated and to try to make history and be the only team to win 3 national titles. So, it's something we just trying to take it personal.
Well, during that game, several big things happened. First, Tim Tebow broke Herschel Walker's record for rushing touchdowns in SEC history. How happy were you for him?
Very happy just because, how much work he put in and everything he's tried to do throughout his career and how much it means to him. So to see him get that record is big. It's very big. So, it's something like I said, the Cardinals teammate and him being a 706 member, he's just big. He's real big for our class. And, a lot of us have records in the history books throughout Florida's history. So, something I'm pretty sure all of us can take to our grave and be very proud of. Something, we can tell our kids and grandkids about.
Well, also during that game, Brandon Spikes took a poke at Wayshawn Ealy's eyes. How do you think that Urban Meyer and later Brandon Spikes handled it?
I think, he handled it the best way he could. Brandon Spikes is a big-time competitor. He's a guy that, when he's on the field, a lot of times, not going to say he blacks out, but, he's a competitor. He's a big-time. He takes a lot of things personally. He takes his job very personally. He wants to do it at a very high level. So, I didn't take much of it. A lot of players going on throughout that game with dirty. They had their share, we had our share, and to contribute to just how personal and how big time the rivalry was and how it had gotten that year. And so you can't. I didn't make a lot of it, and I think Coach Meyer did a good job of handling it and Spike well.
Well, in Brandon Spike's defense, he was certainly not the first player to be doing anything like that in that game. One of Georgia's defenders, Nick Williams, laid out on Tebow late, way after he handed the ball off to Jeffrey Demps. Someone tried to poke Brandon Spikes in the eyes. There was a lot of chippy behavior in that game, and the refs had to call Tebow and one of Georgia's defensive players, Marcus Doughton, over to tell them, calm down, just play football. Do you think that this is just a testament to the Florida-Georgia rivalry?
Yeah, that's what it was. Like I said, it was nothing else but, nothing personal. We don't really, we weren't familiar with a lot of those guys or anything like that. It was just a testament to the rivalry. I think a lot of things, that year, Georgia knew also, after beating the game in the junior, that they couldn't play with us. So, that was their way of trying to even the playing field and try to get us, out of our games. But that was something we were ready for. We weren't guys that were going to back down or be rattled easy, We went for moments like that. So, it was just something we dealt with and got over and just kept it.
Well, after the Georgia game, you guys played Vanderbilt and then South Carolina, 2 games in which you won, not very comfortably, but you did get those wins. So after the South Carolina game, there you guys are sitting at 8-0 in the SEC, a perfect conference record. You're 10-0 overall. You're number 1 in the country. How happy were you guys after beating South Carolina?
You know, you're very happy because, like you just said, you accomplished all those things. Like, you know, you said you're back going to Atlanta. You know, you're undefeated. You're right where you want to be for getting to Atlanta and getting to the national title game. So you're happy. I feel like all your work is paying off. You know, you just got to finish the season.
Was that the main feeling? Or was anybody feeling like, we could be playing better?
Of course, you know, like I keep saying, that year we had a level of play that we feel like we needed to play at a shift between each time we touched the field. So, you know, whenever in the game we feel like we didn't reach that level, we didn't max out that game, you know, we always came to the next game wanting to improve and wanting to get better. So, you know, that's something we took that approach each game. So I can't say, you know, guys wanted to, didn't want to do better because, you know, that's something we took upon ourselves this game. So, you know, it's just something to where we're just trying to hurry up and get to that next week and just get on the field with things so we can show and prove that we're the number 1 team.
Well, after beating South Carolina, you guys beat FIU pretty easily. After weeks of close calls and some controversy, what was it like to be on cruise control for a week?
It felt good. That whole year we had a lot of teams, a lot of good opponents, and finally, you know, get a game where, you know, like I said, not really. I can't really look over opponents, but a game where, you know, you can kind of let your hair down a little bit and let some young guys get some experience. You know, it feels good. It's always good.
Well, after dispatching FIU, Florida State comes to town. It's senior day, your final game in the Swamp. Describe your emotions as you're running out of the tunnel when you hear your name called.
It's tough. It's tough to deal with. Just because I remember me and Spike, we were big. You know, when we came back our senior year, we always were hanging out together, talking, and just reminiscing about different things. And I remember leading up to that game, we were joking with each other. And you know, he was a guy, you're going to be crying and this and that, and you're going to, you know, and I'm joking with him, you're going to be the same way. And you know, both of us are, you know, going back at each other. Oh no, you know, it's not going to get to me like that. It's not going to hit me like that. And I swear to you, you know, right when I was coming out of the locker room and, you know, you touched that bitter head, you know, you're touching that bitter head for the last time, you know, it hit me right there. So once, you know, I hear my name, you know, I'm not really, you know, thinking and I'm not really, you know, cognizant of everything that's around me. You know, I'm just really reminiscing about, you know, this is the last time I'm coming out of that tunnel. So it's tough to deal with, but you have to just suck it up and, you know, just get through it because you have a game to play, you have a job to do.
Well, later in the announcements, the Swamp started coming apart. I mean, when they started announcing guys like Cooper, Nelson, you, Brandon Spikes, place just, you know, started to almost collapse. And then they announced Tim Tebow. I mean, how loud was it then?
It was crazy. It was crazy. Like you just said, when they started announcing a lot of the key members of that 06, you know, recruiting class and with the Brandon Spikes myself, and, you know, like you said, the Coopers, and then, like you said, when you finish it off with the Tim Tebow and how much you get to further history, you know, the crowd is really crazy. And like I said, it just contributes to how much appreciation they have for us, and we just try to give it all back to them also by every time stepping on the field, just giving everything we have to the nation. And, you know, it just shows how much impact we had and how much, you know, the fans appreciated us for.
Well, I mean, the game was pretty much over then. FSU never had a shot. How sweet did it feel to watch the flashbulbs just go off as Tebow ran that last one in?
It was sweet. You know, all through that game, you know, we felt like we're still going to be the pretty handily. So, you know, we're not saying we're like, you know, like a baby or anything, but, you know, it's just a calm, it's just a, you know, you're going to get the job done. So, you know, any play that was happening throughout that game, we felt, you know, it was supposed to be happening, and if we executed the right way, it would be great. That can happen at any time.